so much for joining me for WSAZ Plus. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shannon Litton, and I'm bringing you your top headlines of the day today. Of course, it is a very cold day again out there. Another first alert weather day. If you joined us earlier at 9:30, of course, you saw Dylan up here talking about this is kind of the snowman type of snow that you can use today since those kiddos are out of school. Sledding, not out of the question either. I also showed you this earlier, the sled. I believe I've been informed. Our producer Chelsea just told me that apparently Tim had this up here yesterday at some point. However, he did not put it in that chair. That would be me. I have to take credit for that one on that. But our meteorologist right now working on that forecast. I want to give you a look at this is a look at their graphics right now. So definitely they're still working on that. They're working on seeing what the snow totals are going to look like Friday into Saturday morning. But looks like Friday afternoon they're going to be dealing with some snow through there, at least according to their latest graphics here that you're seeing on your screen. But of course, all these kids are out of school. My kids, they're out of school today as well. This makes 7 days. Yeah, 7 days. They haven't been in 7 school days, that is. In Ohio, though, it's 5 days, and then you start losing spring break. And if you lose spring break, then you start having to add those days to summer break. So hopefully it doesn't get to that. But as you know, in West Virginia, things are a little bit different. They deal with NTI days. And there's a bill right now that is looking to extend the number of NTI days in West Virginia. That's the non-traditional instruction days that can be used by West Virginia schools. And the bill to increase that number is moving forward. The Senate Education Committee advanced a substitute version of a bill to increase the number of NTI days. Now, a district can use from each year from 5, which is what it is right now, to 10. Districts use NTI days to provide instruction through alternative methods while schools are closed because of inclement weather, kind of like what we're seeing today and what we've been seeing, frankly, for the last week. And counting at this point. Many schools are running out of those days, as you know, this year. After all this snow and ice led to those extended closures, the bill now goes to the Committee on Finance for consideration. So that's a story, of course, we'll be following for you this morning. Another story we're following is a driver sentenced. Let me pull up that video, or not that video. Let me give you we posted this just as we were coming upstairs here to bring you the news. Here it is. This is a story we'll be following for you today. And it's about a driver charged in a fatal DUI crash in November of 2024 who has now been sentenced, according to the Kanawha County prosecuting attorney. This is 46-year-old Alva Jones of Charleston. He was sentenced to a maximum statutory penalty of 1 year in the South Central Regional Jail, to be followed consecutively by no less than 3 years and no more than 15 years in the state penitentiary. He was also fined $4,000 for DUI offenses. Back in November of 2024, Jones was involved in a crash that happened in the northbound lanes of Corridor G at Brownland Road in South Charleston. 4 cars were involved in that crash. South Charleston police tell us 1 person was killed, another person was sent to the hospital, and according to the criminal complaint, Jones seemed very unsteady whenever he was speaking with officers, and we're also told that he apparently lied to officers at first about being the driver of the vehicle that caused the crash. Now, officers say Jones was driving on a suspended driver's license and failed the field sobriety test at the scene. Jones later admitted that he had used methamphetamine. That's according to the criminal complaint. But that's a story we'll be following for you throughout the day. And if you're on WSAZ.com, if you scroll down to the bottom of the web story here, you can just find our previous coverage by clicking right there, and it'll show you what our previous coverage from from back in 2014. So definitely another story we'll be following for you throughout the day. Another story we're following today is a job fair. Let me pull up that graphic for you, because if you're leading a new job, there's a virtual job fair going on later today. It's from 1 to 3:30, and it's being hosted by Workforce West Virginia. It's a virtual statewide job fair. Employers and job seekers are invited to participate. This starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon, runs to 3:30. Registration is required for this, and you can do that and then join the job fair on the Workforce West Virginia's website. Now, job seekers are being encouraged to dress professionally and have a calm, clutter-free background. So if you're at home, still need to be wearing, some professional clothes for this. And of course, again, happening from 1 to 3:30. And you can take place in that. Employers can actually create a virtual booth. That's how they can connect with the job seekers themselves. So let's see if I can pull this up for you too, because I am curious about how we can get you to look at what that's going to look like here for, let's see, browse West Virginia jobs. Okay, yes, let me pull up that computer again so you can see this. So this is a Workforce West Virginia website. Of course, here's your job fairs tab, job seeker information. Here's a little bit about that. And right here, are you looking to change or advance your career? Hit register now. And here's the February 4th one. Of course, they have two more. One's in March 4th and the other one's on April 1st. So you click register here, and that'll take you to a portal. And from here, you just kind of, register for the event. Let's see, where would I click? Right. If you need additional employment, okay. Here you go. Then you have to create an account. So email address, password, I've read the terms and conditions, all that good stuff, just like any other website. So again, let me pull up that graphic one more time so you can see it happening today from 1 to 3:30. Registration, like I just showed you there, is required. And you just have to go to the website I just showed you for Workforce West Virginia. So another thing, of course, that we're following throughout the day, we'll have some coverage of that during WSAZ midday as well. Okay, let's talk about this winter that we've been dealing with, of course, too, and the training that some first responders have to do because of it. Take a look at this video. This is training firefighters took part in over the weekend in Grayson for ice rescues because, the frozen surface of a pond or creek can look exciting to children who are looking for some fun on the ice, but firefighters are warning you, the dangers are severe. So the Grayson Fire Department hosted their first ice rescue training class on Saturday. This was over at the Cabin Creek campground. More than 30 firefighters from several departments went through these training exercises for the first time. James Literal was one of them, of the lead instructors. He says this type of specialized training is rarely offered in our region and is invaluable for first responders who may find themselves faced with cold water and ice emergencies. So if other local firefighters are interested in going through that training, they can reach out to the Grayson Fire Department, and they'll look at organizing another one of these trainings soon. So definitely, those uniforms, I would hope, keep them warm in that kind of, wrong video. There we go. I would hope those jackets would keep them warm. Those suits, I don't know what to call those, swimsuits, I guess, for these ice rescues, because I'll tell you what, the training looks fun, but again, not somewhere you want to be playing on a creek, a river, anything like that. But at the very least, they're prepared for that should something happen, should an accident happen. But warning you, of course, they're warning you of those risks so you don't fall victim to that as well. Finally, in our headlines this morning, this one's a little bit near and dear to my heart, selfishly, I will admit, because it is something that Ironton residents have been waiting on for a very long time, and that is the opening of the Dairy Queen there. And look, if you wanted a blizzard, well, you got two of them. You could get a blizzard in the sense of what you were seeing in the snow yesterday for their ribbon cutting, and of course get a blizzard itself over at Dairy Queen in Ironton, Ohio. They were holding their grand opening yesterday. It's along 8th Street. The ribbon cutting and grand opening was held in the morning while it was snowing, inside, thankfully. Dairy Queen, of course, known for their ice cream, but also they have a wide array of food options, burgers, chicken, cakes that you can take home with you. This is the second Dairy Queen location, actually, in Lawrence County. The other location is over in Proctorville, but that area where it's located, people who are from Ironton will, of course, remember the sign that was there even before the pandemic that said Dairy Queen coming soon. And finally, we have made it to that finish line, and Ironton now has a Dairy Queen. It's right there around all those other restaurants. Little Caesars is over there, Big Boy, the Armory Smokehouse, and of course the hotels that are in Ironton. So a little district there of flourishing businesses, to say the very least. So I have not been there yet, but I really want to have a blizzard. But I'll be honest with you, it's so cold anymore that I just want to stay at home in the heat. But if it warms up a little bit, kind of like it's supposed to be next Tuesday, I believe it's supposed to be in the 50s, then I could see myself getting a blizzard, you know? I'm just not, I like ice cream, but something about me being already cold and then having ice cream on top of that, it's a little bit too much. And I am one of those people who drinks pop, soda, whatever, cold, even in the winter, but for whatever reason, I can't do it with ice cream. It takes I don't know, just can't do it. I would have to be wrapped up in a blanket if I did that. But anyway, those are some of your top headlines today here on this Wednesday morning. I do appreciate you joining us here for WSAZ Plus. If you're looking for Dylan's forecast, because I know we didn't have it here today because we already talked about it since it was a first alert weather day. Let me pull up that computer one more time. Let's go to WSAZ.com. And I'll show you how to do it. Oh, let me take down my lower third, because there we go. Okay, here we go. So here's the home page, and right here, there you'll see this WSAZ Plus First Alert Weather Day with slushy roads to start your morning. Click that, and you'll see the hit that Dylan and I did earlier this morning. And that during WSAZ Plus, so you'll be able to see it there. You'll be able to see this full forecast there as well. But, of course, we will be back here on WSAZ Plus should anything break throughout the morning. And, of course, we will be on throughout the day on TV. You can also watch right here on streaming TV as well if you are already on our stream, because Studio 3 is coming up here in 18 minutes. 18 minutes, and it's coming up. I hear there's food. I saw Tim downstairs earlier, so might see. I'm sure he might crash the event. Chelsea knows. Chelsea produces Studio 3 sometimes, is in the booth, and anytime we have food, Chelsea, I feel like that. Yeah, he is always there. And you know, honestly, I think we should mic him up at this point. We should start micing him up. But
sometimes we do. We just leave a mic out there for him in case he shows up.
I feel the problem is Tim gets so excited. He sits at his desk, he looks up at the TV, he sees that the segment is going on, and you might be mid-conversation with this man, but he can't help himself. He just gets up and he runs towards the studio. He runs towards the studio. So I think Chelsea, even if we had a microphone out for him, he probably would ignore it. So.
Well, yeah, he's got his mind on the prize, which is
the mind on the prize. I like that. All right, thanks so much for joining us here for WSAZ Plus. We'll see you here next time. Studio 3 starting up in 17 minutes. Hope you join us there. Have a great rest of your day, and stay safe on those roads. They're slick, especially those city roads. Have a good one.